Hi, my lovely friend. It is Sunday morning on the South Island of New Zealand, and I am doing what every Sunday morning is full of for everyone around the world, which is drawing birds. Well, that's the hope anyway. I am drawing a parrot, not just any old parrot, a kaka, New Zealand's mountain parrot. I'll show you. And you'll see here that I have added a grid in. Let this be a lesson. I thought I'd be a proper grown-up and actually plot out my page, which is something I never do. I'm like a free form, let's put this there and see what happens kind of girl. And the grid that I made did not match the grid on my reference image. So we've had to ungrid because the grid was causing pandemonium. And it turns out that math is just the undoing for my drawing as well as just generally in my life. So I'm letting go. I'm embracing my innate nature, which is just do stuff wherever you want and we'll just see what happens. But one of the things I've been thinking about was this morning when I woke up, I was really foggy headed. My body felt heavy, so many different reasons for that. And I found myself arguing against all the things I know would ultimately be good for me to do. And I don't normally have to argue for drawing, but this morning I did. I was like, you just need to sit down and draw and it will transport you somewhere different to where you started. Now, the reason for this, I believe, on a body level, on a nervous system level, on a brain level, is because when we mark make, so when we draw on a page, when we write, when we do really anything with our hands that isn't involved to a screen and technology, it puts us back in step with ourselves because we start to move at a human pace. And this phrase is something I've become obsessed with, moving at a human pace, because so much of what we do is not moving at a human pace. When we're on technology, when we're scrolling a screen, the many and varied demands that life throws at us quite often has us moving at an inhumane pace where the amount that we are required to absorb and the amount that we are required to put out, or the stuff that we're required to put out in return, is an inhumane amount. It has us scrambled and discombobulated. And when you actually sit down with pen and paper, or you sit down to write, or you sit down to draw and create in whatever way that is, you can't go faster than yourself. You have to go at a speed which matches what you're able to assimilate. And this is very regulating for the body. This is a place that brings you back to yourself, that's kind of pulling all of the energetic strands that have been asking you to, disband in all directions back into the center of your being. And you leave feeling much more centered. So knowing this is really useful information because it becomes a superpower. Your art practice becomes so much more than the creation of this thing or the making of that thing. It becomes a way to actually meet yourself on the page, draw all of the strands back that have been pulled in many and varied directions, and actually give yourself or put yourself in a place where choices seem different, where your energetic expression is different and your emotional self is back in sync with the physical aspect of your being. And really, what could be a greater gift than that? So if you are in a place like I was only a couple of hours ago, where you're thumping across the ground and everything feels a little harder than you want it to be and you're a little strung out, do something with your hands, make something, put marks on the page. Don't worry about the outcome or what it is that you're doing. Do it for the love of it, but also do it for that whole principle of just putting yourself back in step with yourself, at moving back at a human pace. And I would love to see and hear what you make as a result of that. Much love to you all.